really hear the halyard banging. This is pretty much the eye wall coming in. Okay, it's definitely getting crazy out. We spent decades chasing the American dream, only to realize that working more to have more wasn't exactly the dream we expected to be living. Together, we walked away from it all to rediscover what's really necessary to live a rewarding life. Inspired by other YouTubers, we bought a fixer-upper sailboat in the hopes of discovering the world anew. Just as soon as we learned to sail. Well, slept late this morning. It was so awesome. Trying to kind of get my day going now, but I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I don't know if it's just that Heather's trip has kind of come and gone, or maybe I was working with a deadline. I'll tell you, this morning I've always been a list person, so this morning I was writing down like projects on my list, and I used the list not as I'm not like someone who loves crossing things off the list. It's just that if I get it on the list, it's like I give my mind permission to let go of it or not to be thinking of it anymore. But I gotta tell you, I'm looking at the list this morning thinking, oof. So dealing with my overwhelm, I really need to kind of get things jump-started today. And I've got like two things really going for me. The first of which is Hurricane Eta, Tropical Storm Eta. I'm not exactly certain.
Tropical Depression Eta
and Tropical Storm Eta.
So we're gonna have to kind of keep an eye on that one, but we're one full day away, so you know, all projects set aside, we got to kind of get ready for the storm. Second thing I got going for me though is a little bit of comfort food, a little reminder of home. That's some peanut butter pancakes. It's a little gift given to me by Walter Kaliski. I don't know, 40 years ago probably, but Walter's not with us anymore, but I gotta tell you that it's still a regular for my go-to. It's what we eat in my house. My kids eat it that way. I even have a grandson eating it that way. So there you go, Walter, wherever you are. You never know the little things that end up making an impact on the people, you know, generations to come. So there you have it. Comfort food. I don't know, tell me what your comfort food is. Leave it in the comments. Like, is there something you go to when it's just like time to kind of get back to basics? All right, well, that's probably enough reminiscing for the morning. I'm going to get cleaned up. Primary thing we got to do this morning is get up to the marine consignment store and see if we can find some additional dock lines. Like a second set of dock lines really make me feel a lot better. After that, it's more comfort things. So need to make the grocery store run. It'd be great to actually get the laundry done, and I can tell you I'm gonna have to do a lot of charging batteries, including yours right now. So we'll do a little bit of prep work kind of going into the day. Well, I'm counting that as a total success. Not the only guy with this idea today, by the way, but was able to pick up kind of 4 between 28 and 32 foot lines for roughly $30 or so each. Cut me a pretty good deal, so that's kind of nice. Also picked up a strap for the paddle board. So now let's get back to the boat and get things tied up. Looks like we got a little rain coming in. Probably shouldn't have left that hatch open. Just kidding.
Draw your attention to Eta here. This is a tropical depression going to re-strengthen, at least that's the forecast.
with really warm water over here, is expected to become a tropical storm as we get into Friday.
Computer models in pretty good agreement with taking the system towards Cuba going into Saturday and Sunday, but then once it works its way up towards the Florida peninsula.
Okay, you can see those lobster balls there. Those are actually anchor lines. You can see Dave's got his anchor line out next to us. In fact, quite a few boats have them. I've noticed we're surrounded by people with their anchor out. Here's the reason our anchor's not out yet. In fact, we have a new chain arriving. I think it's scheduled for Tuesday or Wednesday. Here's the anchor actually itself, next to our swim ladder, which we still need to clean up as well. Check out these blue skies.
Up to 65 miles per hour. It's starting to emerge now off the coast of Cuba. Made landfall in Cuba earlier.
Crazy, crazy. Storm's like 70 miles away.
wind change. It is now forecast to become a hurricane as it bangs that left and moves into the Keys.
We need another one?
No, I meant when you said this clear come down, I was gonna do some clear come down and see.
Dave?
Dave's cup is empty.
I was trying to be careful. I figured, great, I gotta put across that slippery spot. Now I can just walk down the steps.
Slippery day on the slippery steps.
Slippery day. Slippery day. Slippery day, baby. ETA going elsewhere. Go. So this is the mast inside. You can really hear the halyard banging. Okay, we're very rolly right now. But this is pretty much the eye wall coming in. Okay, it's definitely getting crazy out. Winds have shifted around to the south. So we're on the other side. I'm going to show you the edge. Reminder that whatever you're going through, things will be different if you just let things be. Check out today. So now that the storm has passed, I've been giving a little more thought to my feelings of overwhelm, and I'm realizing that I haven't really admitted what bothers me most about it. And while it'd be easy to say, well, you know, I get fatigued and I don't get things done, and if I don't get things done, then, you know, that's even more overwhelm, and I start kind of this vicious cycle. That's not really what bothers me. What bothers me is when I feel overwhelmed, I get frustrated, and then I tend to be in a bad mood, and that leads me to act poorly. So eventually I end up kind of taking it out on myself. I question my abilities. I question whether or not my decisions are correct. You know, my typical response, even outside of the boat and in other contexts, is just simply to work harder maybe, or work longer, which, as it turns out, really only feeds the problem, right? So is it any wonder that I'm feeling overwhelmed? You know, the truth is, it really doesn't have anything to do with how smart I am or how capable I am. It has more to do with my map of the world, right? Making sense of the world that I live in and how I interact with it. So here's what it is that I'm going to do. One is, I'm going to set some boundaries, some healthy boundaries. You know, I could pick something arbitrary, like I'm just going to stop work every day at 5 p.m., for example, but the time of my day isn't really what's bothering me. So what I've decided, I think, is that what will be more effective is to limit tasks, to feel like things are getting done. So, you know, kind of related to that, I need to be thinking in terms of done is better than perfect, right? Giving up the idea that everything has to be ideal or work on some grand plan. If I let go of my expectations, things just generally get a little bit easier on me, right? I'm just going to kind of do my best to make things better every time that I touch them. So I guess that's step one, is that agreement. Step two is I'm really going to challenge my concept or my ideas of some consequences. You know, it'd be easy to say, well, if you don't do A, you can never do B, and you're not going to get anything done. But, you know, those assumptions are not only silly, they're just counterproductive. And, you know, if that were even partially true, I wouldn't have gotten this far. Probably wouldn't own a boat to start with. So I'm just going to stop with the deadlines and any of the unhealthy consequences. What I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on getting one thing done each day, just one thing. I can cheat a little bit into future days if I want to, but no credit for that. The credit is for just getting one thing accomplished. Now, one downside is that means it's probably going to take a little bit extra time for this episode to get out if I'm going to film things for each day. But you know what? I'm going to start celebrating the small wins in the coming days. So, you know, let's just see what those end up being. Well, we're back on track and getting some things done. If you enjoyed riding the storm out with us, please give us a like. It really does help us out. And consider subscribing. We'll see you again soon.